Hello, everyone. Welcome to Asperi TV Political Update. This morning, we'll be looking at security challenges in Borno State. Now, yesterday, the massacre of 14 farmers at Zambari community of Borno State by Boko Haram has caught up with the feelings of different Nigerians in their different locations. Among those who have reacted are the President Muhammad Buhari, the United Nations Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker House of Representatives Femi Bajabiamila, the People's Democratic Party, the Northern Elders Forum, and Arewa Consultative Forum. My name is Clinton of Rome. Before we continue, we'll take a quick break, and when we return, the program continues. Stay tuned.
Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on the notification button to get notified on our videos. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. Joining me this morning from Owerri is Bright Chiamuba, who is a legislative head and also a social commentator. Bright, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Clinton of Rome.
All right. Now, Mr. Bright, 10 women are still missing as a result of the attack we had at Borno State. Now, the presidency has come up to say this is insane. On Saturday, the victims were beheaded with their heads placed behind their back. The killings came barely 48 hours after the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Said Abubakar, said that the north had been taken over by bandits who kill our men at will. Now, I want to get your view on this issue. Do you see this as a failure on behalf of the presidency? All right, we lost Bright there. Another guest of mine to join us to discuss on this issue is Alozie Chukwuemeka Martins, a medical practitioner and also a social commentator. Welcome, Martins.
Thank you, my brother Clinton of Rome.
Martins joins us from the Abuja studio. We're looking at the insecurity challenges in Borno State. It's a very sad situation out there. 10 persons missing. There are 43 beheaded who are farmers. Do you think this is a failure on the side of the presidency?
Thank you, my brother. First of all, let me let you know that this killing is highly unwarranted. Enough is enough. You know that today's victims were yesterday's survivors and vice versa. And before one begin to look at who to apportion the blame on or not, one must personally identify that these deaths are something that should have been avoided. This is something, if there is proper intelligence gathering and the synergistic between the security operatives and that of the villagers, that this kind of insurgents would have been averted. But then there is one have to acknowledge that this is about 43 lives, 43 destinies, 43 relations, 43 communities, 43 leaders, 43 daddy or parents 43 ideas. These are gone. And there's no level of defense one want to pledge or say how it is to justify the killing. The one can be able to say that there is indeed a leadership failure. So I can concur that there is a leadership failure on the part of government. There's leadership failure up to the level of the communities. Because when you say leadership, the leadership starts from the community, government, and so on. These people form the government, they form the leadership. So there is a leadership failure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Bright, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Bright. Yes. Hello, Mr. Bright. Can you hear us? Hello, Mr. Bright. Can you hear us? All right. Still on the issue, Mr. Chukwemeka Martins. What do you think should be remedied? What do you prefer to be the solution to this security challenge? It's not just only in Borno State. We've had bandits kidnapping people in Zamfara. The former APC chairman in Nasarawa State was kidnapped and killed. So, what do you think should be done to salvage this issue?
The security challenges in Nigeria is
Sorry,
not
before
only.
you continue, Mr. Bryce, can you hear us? No,
I hear
Mr.
you now. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me? The network has been the problem. Okay, I want to get your thought on this issue.
Hello,
43
can you hear
percent.
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. All right, Mr. Martins, continue.
All right. We are talking about what could be done to remedy the situation. You must agree with me that insecurity is not only peculiar to the north, even though we have more of insurrection and insurgents there. Yeah, that here in the middle belt, you mentioned of a certain APC chairman in Nasarawa State being abducted and killed. We also have in the east, in the south, of kidnappings, in one form of social ills and insecurity here and there. Then one begin to question the rationales behind the steps taken so far. You can agree with me there is an urgent call. In fact, many people, many prominent leaders across the country have given the opinion for urgent sack of the security chiefs. To some people, they believe that when you sack them, there'll be new ideas that will be brought in, new personnel with new hands and all those stuff. To some other people, they say that let us inject fresh idea, fresh technology, and all those stuff and all those things.
So are you of the opinion that there should be change in the leadership of the security chiefs?
Certainly, not only that I concur with that, one have to understand that even if you bring a new security chiefs and there is no proper machineries on ground, they will also be ineffective, just like the current ones are. We are a country that is bedeviled with all institutions of governance. Today, you can agree with me, we have all seen the sincerity of Professor Babagana Zulu, the current governor of Borno State. So far, we are seeing his effort, giant efforts, who is trying his best to put in his effort to make sure that these insurrections are curbed. He has gone
Okay,
a
Mr.
bit far
Martins,
further.
sorry, Mr. Martins, before you continue. Bryce, can you hear me?
I
Hello,
can hear
Bryce, can you
you.
hear
I
me?
can hear you, Clinton.
All right, looking at
Good morning, Mr. Martin. I
Good
can hear
morning,
you
my
loud
brother.
and clear. Good morning, Mr.
okay,
Martins.
looking at the security challenges in the north, and we'll have the chief of army staff, Brutai from the north, we'll have the IGP also from the north, and these things keep happening on daily basis. You hear stories of people being kidnapped, killed in most northern states. Do you think
But
the president should look at other parts of the country to get those that can provide solutions?
well, the you're not quite far from the reality on ground. The truth is, having our chiefs, our security all coming from the north, we thought it could actually be his drive to getting these bandits out of our country, but the reverse has been the case. So, but for me, I think the best thing to do is to disengage these service chiefs who, under their right noses, these banditry, the issue of terrorism and kidnapping have seen the increase. If they can be dislodged,
Okay.
disengaged, and people who had brighter ideas, who have beautiful security technological networks and technological overdrive, as well as security intelligence that can be able to flush out these terrorists. Those people should be given opportunities to at least be in charge, so they can be no matter the region they come from, be it south, southwest, east, north central, northwest. Like we should go for merit for once. There are people who have the capabilities to be able to flush out these bad eggs from our societies, but they are not given the opportunities to do so. So I believe, regardless of where they come from, the Burutai, the savage chiefs of all, the savage chiefs of both the custom, the military, the police, you know, if we should give the right people who have the basic knowledge on how to push and dislodge these insurgents out of our country, they should be given the opportunity. I think that should be the solution.
Okay, now back to you, Martins. Back to you, Martins.
Yeah, I
Is,
can hear you.
is protest a tool to convey the feelings of the northern youth or northern people? Do you think staging a protest could awaken the consciousness of the president and some of the executives?
Protest by who?
By some northern youths, the northern associations who have been vocal all this while. Don't you think there is need for them to move out and convey their feelings?
We have only have few northern elites, few northern youths who have spoken up about this. The rest are docile. The rest are showing attitude of I don't care. They are not being honest until the entire youth unite in one voice. Until the entire northern youth unite in one voice and speak against this insurrection, solution cannot be aside. There is no need for one to continue to pretend over these issues. Majority are comfortable because they feel that if they should speak up, they are speaking against their brother who is a president. This is far from it. The killings has nothing to do with anybody who is a brother or who is a sister. This is wake-up call that should be supported by all. It's not only speaking against it, they should also rise. They should rise and protect themselves. They should unite their forces. We expect them to be united with this common to fight this insurrection, because insurgent does not know who is who. He doesn't know whether you are Islam or whether you are a Christian. He doesn't know whether you are an Elite or elitist. The other day we had a clergy who was adopted and killed and all those stuff. So when we talk about insecurity, nobody is spared. So it will be wise for them to rise up, not only in condemning the steadily acts, but also providing some actions further to safeguarding their lives. It is not timely this time around. It's even late. We have expected them to have done this long time ago. So they should unite in their voices. They shouldn't be afraid, because you cannot continue to wait because your brother is the president and you're waiting to lord it over when another president comes. No. We said they should rise up now and lend their voice against this insurrection, because nobody, no religion, no ethnic group, no family is spared. Today's victims were yesterday survivors, and today's survivors are also going to be tomorrow's victims. Who is going to be the next victim? That should be our pertinent question.
Now it's crystal clear that the Boko Haram terrorist group are behind these incident killings that are taking place in the north. Sometimes or somehow they have come out to claim responsibility. Do you think government have done enough to get rid of them? Because the approach we'll keep getting from government is providing some incentives for them or trying to lure them to repent. Is that the best approach?
I first of all will have to use diplomacy. Will have to employ all avenues of discussion and dialogue before we want to consider the carrot and the stick approach. It is good if government is trying to negotiate, but you don't negotiate with a faceless organization. You don't negotiate with an organization that have multifaceted, that have come into new dimensions in their approach and organizations. Today, nobody can clearly ascertain whether it is Boko Haram or there are so many groups now in the north. And I know that this is a strategy they are using to get the government confused. So one, expect government to rise up to the occasion. First of all, get adequate information, adequate intelligence on who are the purveyors, who are the architects of this organization, who is sponsoring them, who is bankrolling all their expenses, who is giving them information. Because whether you like it or not, there is a sabotage somewhere. Somebody is sabotaging the entire effort. The little effort government have put in is being sabotaged on a daily basis. And until we find out who is a sabotage, we only continue to run goalposts on a daily basis.
Now, it appears that diplomacy is not just enough because last month, the governor of Borno State, Professor Zulum, Babagana Zulum, was attacked by this terrorist group. And you have mentioned diplomacy as an approach. Is there any need for a little bit of force?
That's what I'm saying. By the time you have exhausted your options with diplomacy, one is left not less than to use force. And when you are using force, you have to use commensurate force. You have to study the force, the way and modus of operandi of the insurgent groups, of the Boko Haram group. You have to know their modus of operandi, and you have to bring a force that is going to compensate and at the same time expel whatever action they are going to throw at you. So it is not bad at this time of the year, because having lost 43 farmers, the effect is so much that will definitely cause more hunger, as the rest of the farmers will be scared from farming because of the likes of unknown experience by these farmers. We're even saying 43, but from the news gathered from the locals, one can agree that there are more unconfirmed reports. The numbers might even go up, and so on. And if you look at the way they operated, they beheaded these people. That means they have enough time to have beheaded these people. So one have to stand up and not continue with the rhetorics of, oh, at the end of the day, we will say that Allah give it and Allah take it. You see this particular one, Allah didn't take these ones. The gross incompetence of our allies, politicians and security operatives took these ones from us.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alozie Chukwemeka. Alozie Chukwemeka Martin, sorry, for being on our program this morning.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, this is where we call it a wrap on the program. Don't forget to go to our social media platforms for more political updates. I remain your chief host, Clinton, from saying bye for now.
Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel.